Hey everyone, how are you? My name's Richard. Welcome to the channel. Are you going to the toilet 2 or 3 times in the night? I don't know if it's the same for women, but for men, are you going to the toilet 2 or 3 times in the night consistently? Yeah? Going for a wee? I was doing that a year ago. Here we go, let's just stop for this lady. Do the right thing. For the last 10 years, maybe 5 years actually, getting up and going to the toilet 2 or 3 times a night for a wee. Absolutely ridiculous, really. Absolutely ridiculous. Just bear with me on this one. Let's get around this. Let's get around this. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. He's out, I'm out. Absolutely ridiculous. Constantly getting up for the toilet. And you know, when you sit down in a chair, you went, oh, and groaned and creaked and things like that. Unbelievable. Used to go for a crap and it didn't feel right. I was eating till midnight. And then ultimately November of last year, so we're currently in September, the end of September, early October, let's say. That's nearly a year ago. I found out that I was diabetic type 2 and was put on a drug called metformin. And over the last year, my partner, my missus, has put me on what was a relatively strict diet. And everything, getting up in the night, has stopped. Last night, I went to bed at 10 o'clock. I woke up at 5:30 this morning to get up and did not go to the toilet once. So if you're going to bed and getting up in the night 2 or 3 times a night, does the opportunity of having a full night's sleep uninterrupted sound a great idea? Well, you might want to listen. You might want to listen to this. I was getting up like a zombie a year ago, going to the toilet, like I say, 2 or 3 times a night for a little wee. And I think a lot of men do this. And I was overweight. The reason why I'm making this video is because I went to the doctor's surgery yesterday and they weighed me. 2 months ago I was 80 kilograms. That's when I went to Europe on the motorbikes for 2 weeks. Yesterday when they weighed me, I weighed 75 kilograms. So I've lost 5 kilograms in 2 months. Which is a bit of a concern because my weight keeps on going down and down and down. The previous video, which I did on heated gloves, you might have seen heated gloves and jackets. You might have seen how skinny my arms are getting. Well, I need to start thinking about bulking up now and getting some muscle back from all this weight loss. Weight loss is good. Trust me now. I should stop saying trust me. The people will say never trust a man that says trust me. What else can I say? I don't know. My experience over the last year, having found out that I was diabetic type 2 and using metformin, has been nothing but positive. And you might be in the same situation. There's nothing to be ashamed of being diabetic. So go to the doctor and get yourself tested. If you are getting up every night 2 or 3 times for a wee, you may well be diabetic type 2 and don't realize it. Also, my diet plan has changed. Generally speaking, I don't eat after 7 or 8 o'clock at night. That gives my pancreas time to recover and all the good things that it should be doing. Yes, so I don't eat. I used to eat until 11 o'clock midnight and go to bed with donuts inside me and chocolate and things like that. I used to love it. A beer maybe. I don't drink really, but you know. And then my body would be working overtime to sort out the glucose and all that kind of rubbish, of which I don't profess to understand completely. So this is not about, this is just, are you in that situation where you are groaning when you go and sit in a chair? You know, when you get in the car, you're going, oh, and get out and you sound like an old man, but actually you're 52 and you think it's about getting old. All these problems that I had, including hemorrhoids, have gone over the last year. All gone. It's been absolutely wonderful. I now feel like a 35-year-old, or what I imagine what I was like when I was 35. I mean, over the last 30, 40 years, I've done nothing, generally speaking, but eat shit food. It wasn't smart, but I really couldn't be bothered to cook for myself, and I was working stupid hours and not being paid for it, and that's my fault, and that's another video in the future, working and not being paid for it. Why would you do that? Be careful when you're in senior management. Working and not being paid for it. You sign a contract for 40 hours and then you end up working 80, 100 hours a week. What the hell's that about? I guess that's where wisdom comes in with age. Don't work for nothing. You get your job done in the allocated 40 hours and walk away, and then focus on other things. The other things we'll talk about in a future video. What missed opportunities I've had. Missed opportunities. If you're the one that groans when you get up and down out of a chair and you're weeing 2 or 3 times a night, or maybe even once in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning, stop eating at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, and see if that changes things. If not, and it still continues, you may be on the verge of diabetes. So go to your doctor and let them do the relevant tests. And then you may be diabetic type 2, like I am. And the drugs that are given may well give you a new lease of life. Yeah? Because it's certainly given me a new lease of life. I feel so much better. My mind is in a different place. I thought I was getting old. I thought that's what old was meant to be. You know, as you reach your midlife point and you start moving towards 60 and 70 and 80, I thought it was getting old, but it wasn't. It's just that the functions within my body were telling me that enough is enough. Yeah, the first sign of it was going to the toilet 2 or 3 times in the night. Constantly getting up for a wee. Unbelievable. And then the next day you're so tired, or you feel so tired. Yeah, because you're constantly having interrupted sleep. And you know you're overweight. You know you're overweight. Yeah, I knew I was overweight. Amazing. If this meant something to you, then give the video a like, and if you're not subscribed, do subscribe for more content. Most of the content is motorcycle and motor based, or maybe and a bit of travelling, but every now and then I will throw in a video that's associated to my journey of diabetes type 2. I should have looked after myself in the past, but I didn't know any better, and it was easier and cheaper to have takeaway food. Oh, let's slow down for that young lady with the truck. It was just easier to have takeaway food, and to tell you the truth, it tasted absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I said to the doctor, you know, I said, I've had 37 years of a great life, and now's the payback time, where I'm still eating great food, to tell you the truth, but much healthier food. It does cost more money to eat healthier food, I assure you that, but the benefits are just a better lifestyle. It's just a better lifestyle. You get more energy, you sleep so much better, you don't get interrupted for having a wee. You know, admittedly, sometimes I do pop out for a wee at 3 o'clock in the morning, but that's now on a rare occasion. I sleep all the way through the night, all the way through. Fantastic. Tell me your experiences. Are you getting up 2 or 3 times in the night for a wee on a regular basis? Tell us in the comments. Did you find this useful? If so, give the video a like and share it to your other colleagues that are obviously overweight. Yeah? Share it. Let's share our experiences on how life is in the first world, and being overweight and having the wrong food. Hope you found it useful. I shall speak to you very soon. Oh my goodness, there is a Ford Capri there. Let me just wait for that Ford Capri to go through. Here we go. No, there's that Ford Capri. Just look at that. Wow. I thought I'd just share that before we go. Wow. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it. What is it? It's not a 2.8. I don't know what Capri it is, but it's not a 2.8 injection, but it's still a lovely Capri, and it's kicking out a bit of smoke. That's wonderful. Oh, I can smell it. It's kicking out some smoke. Anyway, ride safely, drive safely. I'll see you very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.